This is episode 80, and today we're talking about different options for individuals that may have been in the prison system and who are out and looking for opportunities. We understand that the United States has the largest prison system in the world. More people have been incarcerated in America than anywhere else in the world. So we're going to talk about some different opportunities and legal strategies these individuals can use when they get out of prison, or if they're already out of prison, to take their dreams and make it a reality and actually be able to productively contribute to society. So we're talking about that. It's going to be some really, really good information. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today we're talking about some different business opportunities that individuals who have been in prison can use to actually be productive and be contributors to our society, because I think that there's an opportunity for everyone. Just because you made a mistake in the past doesn't mean that you can't actually be productive and going forward in the future. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So what got me interested in this is that I was reading a study. It was done by the Department of Justice, and they followed 400,000 people over a 9-year period, and they tracked their progress over a 9-year period. And they said that within the first year of being released, 44% of those people were rearrested. Within 3 years, 68% of those people have been rearrested. And then within the 9-year period, it was a 9-year study, within the 9 years, 83% of those former prisoners had been rearrested. And when I saw that, I was shook to my core in many ways. Like, what is going on? I'm all for holding a person responsible for the things they've done. I think most people are, but when the numbers are so large, 83% of that 400,000 have been rearrested within 9 years. When the numbers are so large, you have to begin to look at it from a macro standpoint. You have to begin to look at it from a sociological aspect, look at it from a psychological aspect, look at it from even a criminology standpoint, and start realizing what's going on in the environment. What are the environmental conditions that are incentivizing people to recommit crimes? Because I personally don't believe a person is born evil. I mean, I tend to associate with the philosopher John Locke. He talked about how individuals are born with a blank slate and they're not necessarily born evil. And I tend to agree with that. So the numbers are so large. What is going on? And I created this video for it to be somewhat of a solution, add a solution to individuals that may have been in the prison system. And we have to really understand that, because, as I said earlier, just because you have made a mistake in your life doesn't mean you're a bad person. So we're going to talk about some of the opportunities and business opportunities for individuals who have been may have been incarcerated. So the first thing we're going to talk about, this would be maybe the obvious one. I have at least 10 things we're going to talk about. So I guess the first thing would be very obvious. I guess you could maybe consider getting a job. I mean, that's very obvious. I understand that. But there are a lot of companies that hire people with criminal records. There are a lot of people that hire people with criminal records, and you can be one of those who get a job. And it's becoming increasingly difficult to discriminate against a person because of their criminal record. I understand they have the Fair Chance Act. That means they have the Fair Chance to Compete Jobs Act that was passed in 2019, where it's becoming difficult to ask a person about their prior arrest record for federal jobs and federal contract opportunities. And the hope is that if it's done at the federal level, the states will tend to follow. That's the hope. So it's becoming increasingly difficult to discriminate against a person because of their criminal record. If the person is good, the person is talented, that person should be awarded opportunity. So that's aspect from a job. But I do understand that everyone is not necessarily able to work in a job situation. Some people are entrepreneurs. We need entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs create jobs. So if you have that entrepreneurial talent, entrepreneurial skill, the entrepreneurial slant, then you should be an entrepreneur. And I talk a lot about how to create a business. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, this is episode 80. If you've been watching my videos, you should be able to come off the top of your head about how to create a business in America. Just flat out. I mean, let's go over it one more time. You create your LLC. Whatever state you're in. You're in Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, LLC in Pennsylvania. Georgia, go to the Secretary of State's office in Georgia. Go to the website, Secretary of State's office, Georgia. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Secretary of State's office. State of Ohio, Secretary of State's office. And you create your LLC. And then with that, you get your EIN number. EIN number is your tax ID number. So you need your LLC, you need your EIN number. You can create your operating agreement. And then with these documents, you can typically open up a business bank account. Now all of a sudden you have something that's separate from yourself. Now you have a real business. Now you're legitimate, you know. You can get you a business debit card. You have your name, you have your company's name on it. Now these are opportunities that exist for everyone. You don't, I mean, for every single person, regardless of your criminal record, regardless of your background. You can create you a business and be legitimate, and then with enough time, you can start getting you a line of credit from a legitimate bank. You can take your maybe take 2 years of your pay stubs and go to a bank, and that bank will give you a business line of credit. I mean, I understand they talk about trade lines, and we'll talk about that later, but we talking about from an actual bank in your city. You can actually get that. So that's one thing. What else? You also, I mean, there are many different types of entrepreneurship. I want to make that clear. One thing, you don't necessarily have to have a LLC. Now, the LLC gives you protection. It limits your liability in case something bad happens. No, someone necessarily can't sue you, but you can still operate as a business by being just what they call a sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is a person that necessarily hasn't set up a business officially. You can operate. I mean, and sometimes it makes sense to be a sole proprietor. For example, say you are a 7-year-old kid and you selling lemonade on the side of the street. You wouldn't tell that 7-year-old kid to go set up an LLC. You allow that person to just operate as a sole proprietor because the kid may make $30 a day and the LLC may cost $100. So the idea is that you can be a sole proprietor doing things and save up money, create your LLC. I mean, those are two things off of my head. Also, you can do what they call sell things on consignment. Now, this is very important. Consignment is the idea is that I'll sell something on a person's behalf, and then when I make money, I'll pay them their fee. Say, for example, your family and friends, you just got out of prison. Well, your family and friends, a lot of people typically have something they don't want anymore. You can go to them and say, hey, I'm trying to do something positive with my life. Is there anything in your house that you don't want that I can sell, and then I'll give you 30% of the profits, or I'll give you 50% of the profits, or I'll give you 70% of the profits. Whatever you all, the term is, the agreement is, you can do that. You can go sell it. You can go sell it on the street. I know in New York is relatively straightforward, relatively easy to be able to set up a booth selling on the street. Because New York is a walking city, so it's relatively easy and straightforward. So, but you can do that, and you don't have to sell on the street. You can also sell things on eBay, on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, there's many things such as that. So you can get something from your friends and family. You can set up a yard sale. You can also get things from Craigslist. They have a free section. You can go get these things. A lot of people put things on Craigslist that they don't want anymore. They're like, I don't care. I mean, I just want it out of my house. And also people put things on the side of the street, like nice furniture that they put on the side of the street. You can get those things and then you can sell those things. These are some of the things you can do. Maybe ask your family and friend, let me store this in your place and I'll give you a percentage of the profits once I sell it. And these are opportunities. I mean, it doesn't really require really any money with this. And you can just what they call flipping it, arbitrage. You know, I'm taking it here, not really doing any much work to it, and I'm selling it in this market at a higher price. Or you can flip it. You can actually take it, maybe add some value to it, maybe paint it, brush it up, or whatever it is, sell it at a higher price. These are some things you can do that are absolutely legitimate, and you can make money with this. And also, you have real estate. Real estate is another industry I talk about that is easy for individuals who are looking to get into the world of real estate. One of the things you can do is what they call bird dogging. This is what they call wholesaling. The idea is that you often see signs that say we buy houses cash. We buy houses with cash. You see that a lot. So what they're basically doing is that they want people to call them, and then, not everybody, but it's not uncommon. Individuals will, you'll first of all, let me back up a little bit. Let me back up. First, you gotta get a buyer's list. That's the first thing. Most cities, big and small, they typically have a real estate investment club. And what you'll do, you'll put your nice button-up shirt on, or whatever you will wear to something relatively respectable that you wear to church or whatever it is. You would go there and you would start meeting people. Hey, my name is Jeremy Johnson. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a bird dog. I'm wholesaling. And if there's any houses that you're interested in, let me know because I can go find those houses for you. And those investors will tell you, I'm interested in single-family homes. I'm interested in duplexes or quads or 3-unit houses. They'll tell you these things by just asking and talking to them. Just build up all your courage and just go there. And then you can begin to find those houses that meet that. And then you can get into an option contract. This is a lot of information, but I want to make certain that you all are getting this information. This is like very legal, heavy legal information. Get an option contract with the idea that I have the option to buy your house within 90 days, 120 days, whatever it may be. And then you'll, instead of you buying it with your own money, you will take it to one of the people at the real estate investment club and say, I have a house that you want. And if you're interested in it, I can assign you that option contract. So now the option contract will go to your investor, and that investor will then buy the house, and you'll get a percentage of it because you get paid for what they call wholesaling it to the person. You can have whatever fee, whatever percentage of the profit you want, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it may be, $15,000, $30,000, and then you can, in exchange for you giving that option contract over to that person, giving that person the right to buy that house, you'll get paid for that. So that's another option. That just really just requires just what they call bird dogging, just hustle, just grinding, and just never giving up. And you can actually be something very productive with just determination and belief in yourself. Another thing, another method is gardening, farming, urban gardening. That's becoming increasingly a popular business and a business model because people are starting to question what's in their food. Like outside of the grocery store or outside of the local market, I have no earthly idea where my food comes from. And so people are starting to embrace the concept of farm to table or having local food. So you can grow your own food, and all you really need is seeds, water, and sunlight. That's pretty much all you need. And a pack of seeds, at least in the U.S., a pack of seed costs $1, costs $2. You can grow tomatoes and things such as that, and you can sell it at your local market. I know at least in most places in America, at least once a month they have a local market, and you can go there and sell your produce. These are some of the things you can do. They're becoming real, and if you get good at it enough, you can take it to a next level. You can start. There's a problem in America. Most of the farmers in America are baby boomers. Most of the people that own businesses in America are baby boomers, and they're looking to retire. And most of the farmers, their children don't want to own those farms. So you can go there and you can get what they call seller financing. That's another method with real estate. So this is also transitioning into this real estate and the farming aspect of it. And the seller financing aspect is that instead of going to a bank for a loan, you will tell the farmer who owns the land that you'll start paying him in increments. So instead of paying the bank, the farmer is the bank. So you start paying that farmer monthly payments, and that farmer just give it to you. The farmer doesn't necessarily care about credit reports and criminal records. They really don't care about any of that. They just want to know, based on what you can do, can I guarantee my monthly payment? Same with the bird dog. The real estate investor, they don't care what your criminal record is. They just care about, is the house you presented to me, is that a good house? And man, that's just what it really is. I mean, most people really don't care. Most people aren't really looking at you like a criminal. They're looking at you like, okay, can we do business together? And if you can present business opportunities to people, because that's a lot of things in life is that it's difficult for a person to, if they're not related to you, it's difficult to find mentors. And there are mentors out there, but if you can't find a mentor, bring them an opportunity. And these are things I'm saying, you can bring opportunity. So the idea is that you can start farming land, and also you can potentially start a nonprofit. You can start, if you get good enough with this farming, we're back in the farmer analogy. So with the farmer analogy, if you get good enough, you start your nonprofit, teaching kids about urban gardening. That's becoming a very popular nonprofit that started in many of the urban areas in the country. And if you know how to do this, you can do that. I mean, I understand they have different farming. Certain prisons, they have different farming systems. Like they have like tilapia, and I know like places like Whole Foods, they buy tilapia that's been grown in prisons. So if you have that experience, these are some of the things you can do. Aquaponics, you can probably work up to that, save your money for that, but seeds cost $1, $2, water and sunlight, and then you take some time for you to get good at that. But you can sell it at your local market. You can do these things. These things are very possible. Another thing, the clothing company, clothes in this day and age, there are many stores online where you can start an online store for free. You don't have to pay anything. You only pay once you get a sale. So you can go. You have an online store. There are a couple stores that I can't think of any across my mind, but here's some. I'll put some on the screen. Websites you can go to start your online store, and you can create your logo, create your design, and you can get people to buy your clothes, and then you only pay once you sell a product. That's a good way to get into it. A lot of people are good graphic designers. A lot of people have an eye for fashion, a talent for fashion. So if that's you, this is a good way for you to get started in. You can do multiple of these different business avenues, these different business models. You can do multiple of these different business models at the same time. You can do more than one thing at the same time. These are some of the things the ideas that let's try to be productive, That's the key. Like, what are we producing, Have you read a book, Or can you produce the knowledge that you read from this book? Can you create a video? You want to be a YouTuber? Can you create some fresh fruit, some fresh food? Can you create these designs? Are you producing these things? Like, as long as you're being a productive person, a hard-working person that's productive and enthusiastic. If you can be hard-working and enthusiastic, I mean, you can go very far in this world. And people really don't care about your background. Another thing is food. I know a lot of people have worked in the kitchens in the prison system. That's a great start. I mean, if you can cook, there are a lot of recipes online. There are a lot of tutorials on how cooking food on YouTube. You can master these crafts and learn these different things, and you can maybe start off as a line cook in a restaurant. These places really don't care about your criminal record. They just, can you cook this food? Will you show up on time? Can you do things? And the thing about it is, I mean, I don't mind working with a person that went to prison, because the person that went to prison, they know how to follow directions. They know how to follow orders. So these are the advantages that you have to do things like that. Music. I mean, we all know individuals that have went to prison and blown up off music. Some of the biggest artists in the world have criminal records. So we understand the aspect of music. But you don't necessarily have to be in front of the screen. You can also be the manager, the marketer. Some people are natural marketers. You can be many things. You can be the agent. You can booking manager. You can be many of these things. You can be the graphic designer for the artwork, for the album artwork, for many other things. These things you can do in comes to music. International trade. Let's talk about international trade. We need to talk about international trade. I mean, America is the largest economy in the world. I mean, China is a close second, but America is still the number one, the largest economy in the world. And if you are in America, because we're talking about America in this video, but it works anywhere in the world. I mean, all these things work anywhere in the world. All of this works. Generally speaking, if you have a free country, these typical things typically work. And what you can do is you can import duty-free and talk to some of them. You speak English, so that's an advantage in this world. That's a real advantage that you speak English and that you're fluent in English. That's a very real advantage. Because if you have a person from multiple countries, you have a person from Spain, or a country from somewhere in Ghana, somewhere from Thailand, somewhere in France. If you have all these different, and everyone is in a group, they're all going to be talking English. So you being a native English speaker is an advantage in this world, and that's an advantage you need to take advantage of. So you can go to the factory and you can buy in bulk. When you're buying in bulk, things are typically cheaper, and you can sell it in America. But America being the largest economy, you can sell it online. Have an online store in singles. And you make money off just that difference in that. You don't have to do these alone. You can find partners to do these things with. Art is big. I mean, there are multiple reports saying that the millennial generation is rapidly embracing the art world, and they're the fastest growing group of art buyers and art collectors. And the millennial generation is embracing the art, and that's a huge demographic. And if you know how to paint, you'll be considered a contemporary artist, and you can learn to paint. You can put your stuff up in art galleries on consignment. Well, if anything that sells, you get a percentage of the profit. And you can also sell it on the street. You also put it on different shirts. You can also there's many things you can do with art. And then taking it a step further, if you sell a couple art paintings or murals or whatever it may be, or sculptures or whatever it may be, you can have an art gallery. That's some of the things you can do. You can have an art gallery. You can maybe have a piece of real estate that you may have got through seller financing, and within that real estate, you can have different art studios and rent out to different artists. These are real things you can do. Now, you have to may start small and then work your way up, but these things can be done with enough persistence and patience. I mean, I really think individuals who have may have had some difficulties in life tend to make for some of the best entrepreneurs. They understand what it is to have struggled or to have failed at something, and they made a bounce back. And bouncing back and overcoming obstacles is really the main key attribute of being an entrepreneur. But you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You also get a job. Fitness. We understand that individuals in the prison system, they tend to work out. And if you're in America is definitely not necessarily the most healthiest country in the world. America is not the most healthiest country in the world. So what you can do is you can become a personal trainer. Most people want to work out. But having a person that can encourage them, show them how to do push-ups properly, show them how to do sit-ups properly, show them how to work out their arms properly, or whatever it may be. Running with them, they want to run, they'll be more willing to do it if someone does it with them. Humans, we are social creatures. Like, we aren't necessarily meant to be in isolation. So you can be that as well. I mean, you can post videos on YouTube. I'm talking about marketing very shortly, but these are some things you can do. You can post videos on YouTube or on your Facebook page and many things such as that. to begin to gain clients. Also, I mentioned nonprofits earlier, but you can also create your nonprofit from the beginning. You can talk about prison reform. Some individuals have that gift of a speaking ability. They can be an advocate on certain issues, and prison reform is one of those issues. What else? Youth programs. I mean, there's art education, there's voter registration for felons. I mean, I understand a lot of people that may have been felons believe that they can't necessarily vote again, but that's not necessarily true. Certain states you can vote again. So voter registration issues, these are some things that individuals who have been in the prison system would be maybe the best candidates to lead these issues. What else? I mean, there's many things, and that I want individuals to be mindful of, that these are opportunities for you to be able to do. And when it comes to, they say the average millionaire has multiple streams of income, and as I mentioned earlier, you can do these things. I mean, I can't say it enough. I mean, just because you have made a mistake in life doesn't necessarily mean that you are a bad person. If you look at some of the aspects from a religious standpoint, from the Judeo-Christian aspect, some of the most famous characters in the Bible, in the Torah, in the Quran, have committed crimes. I mean, you look at the idea of Moses. Moses committed murder, or at least some type of manslaughter at the minimum. You look at King David. He slept with a married man's wife, and then had that man sent off to be killed in war. So these are some of the most, these are violent crimes that a person has done. But if you talk to the average theologian or average religious person who cares about, the average person that goes to church or goes to these different places, they will tell you these people are great people. So I say all that to say that if we understand the characters in this biblical literature, in these literature aspects, that we can understand that these are things we can use to navigate our life, that we can still do great things, because the narratives in these stories, the epics of these characters, they did great things. So these are things that we can use as from an aspect of symbolism that we can use to help us navigate this life. And there's many things we can talk about. Once you have all these different business opportunities that you may have, you have to do marketing. And my opinion, digital marketing is by far the most powerful form of marketing that has ever existed. I said it a lot, but it's something that I believe in. And the idea is that with digital marketing, you create all the social media networks have marketing, but you will go to business.facebook.com. That's an example. Business.facebook.com, not facebook.com, business.facebook.com. Now you create you an ad account, and from there you can create you an ad. Now the fundamentals of digital marketing, these are: create an ad, and then you create an ad that people want to click on. So say, for example, you are thinking about landscaping, cutting grass. That's very important to really focus on, because like me, I've cut enough grass. I've cut enough grass for the rest of my life. Like I've been cutting grass for a long time, and I feel like I've cut enough grass for the rest of my entire life. Like I remember growing up, Georgia's sun is nothing to play with. Look, like you can go out there and in July and August, it can easily be, routinely, is 100 degrees. Real temperature, 100 plus degrees. And you'll go out there and, I mean, you go out there and have a heat stroke. You got to be careful for real, you know. So me personally, I mean, I've been cutting grass for a long time, and I feel like I've cut enough grass. So that's an opportunity for individuals who have been in the prison system. You can landscape it. I mean, I know it's very well known, but we're gonna talk about some business development aspect of it. So let's go back to it. You have your Facebook ad, and you can instead of putting it on your different, because most people when they promote their business, they'll put it on their, create a Facebook group, or they'll put it on their personal Facebook page. And that can only normally be seen by your friends and family. But with a Facebook ad, it can be seen, you can target it to your zip code, you can target it to everyone in the zip code, or a large amount of people in the zip code can see it, or in this state, or in wherever it's going to be. You can create an ad, and then you can say, hey, I mean, this is any industry, but let's just focus on landscaping, for example. Hey, are you interested in cutting your grass? I cut grass. You want to say it better than this, but you can just create your cell phone and film yourself on the cell phone. Say, I'm a lawn. I cut grass. I cut the best grass in the city. If you want to get in contact with me, click on this ad and leave information, and then I'll give you a phone call. We'll get a quote on the price. Now, you probably want to say a little bit better than that, but that's an idea of it. So that's the ad. They'll see the ad on Facebook and they'll click on it, because people want people to cut their grass. I mean, that's very real. And they'll go to your landing page, It can be your website. And then they'll put the information in, the phone number, name, their phone numbers, and you can call them and give them a price on cutting grass. And that's a significant aspect of it. And if an individual, Facebook has a thing called a pixel, Pixel, where you can embed that on your website, and then it'll know who went to your website, and you can resend them ads. They call it retargeting. So the idea is that you have an ad, they click on that ad, they put the information in, you call them, and then get a quote, and then you'll be able to get clients that way. So that's way more sophisticated and way more advanced than just posting it on your page and hoping your friends and family will share it. And your friends and family may not share it. You know, they're busy too. They may not share it, but Facebook will guarantee your ad will be seen by a certain amount of people. You can do $1. You can do $1 if you want to. You can do $1 a day if you want to. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. You have whatever budget you want. That's just Facebook. You can also do Google. You also do YouTube. You can also do many other places. But these are some of the things when it comes to digital marketing. And that's just with landscape. I mean, that can be done. I mean, mentioned many business models. I mean, it can be real estate. We buy houses, whatever kind it may be. Click on this ad, give us your information, and we'll give you a call and give you a price on your house. I mean, that's art. You know, I'm a logo artist, and you buy my art or whatever, and click on that, and it'll go straight to your online store. And there are many things you can do, and you can retarget them. But these are some aspects of digital marketing that I want individuals to be mindful of and learn about. I guess we can keep going on and on and on. I mean, the idea is that the overall thing is that, I mean, it's really just that there is opportunity. Individuals may look at this world with a glass half empty mindset, but if you look at it from a glass full mindset, there's a lot of opportunity. And it's going to be difficult. It may be more difficult than you can probably imagine, but with enough patience and persistence and hard work and enthusiasm, you can really do something special in this world if you really wanted to. And the aspect is that the world needs new thinking. The world needs people that have been incarcerated to be productive citizens, productive contributors to our society. We need that. Your communities need that. I mean, that's just the real deal. I mean, and I wanted to bring some different aspects to you to show that these are opportunities. I mean, these are 10 or 11 different business models that I given to you. And the thing about it is, you need to talk about business models because economics rules this world, and you can be a part of the economic system in the right way, and if you really believe you can. And the idea is that mass incarceration is a problem in America. So once you pay your debt to society, you pay your debt. You can begin start and have a new lease at life, and you should take that as an opportunity to really learn and do something positive. But I wanted this video to serve as an opportunity for individuals, just because, as I said quite a few times in this video, just because you made a mistake in life doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person. Because I don't think anyone is bad. I mean, as a famous saying goes, you know, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. And I hope you all have found some value in this video, because these things are done out of love. And I read that report, and it was such a startling statistic that I felt like I had to at least bring some actionable things that individuals that may find this video could take from and actually have some value and actually be able to contribute to society. Because when a person is arrested, it doesn't just affect that person, it affects everyone. You know, that person has family and friends. The person may have some children. I mean, it affects everyone. So if we can actually do something and be productive, like I said, by being productive, producing something, then I think not only will your community be better, but America as a whole will be better, because we have this influx of people that are doing positive things and creating jobs and being good employers and being contributors and finding value contributing and finding value in the areas of our society that many people thought there wasn't much value there. So, but this has been episode 80. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you know someone that may can find some value in this video, share it with them. And this is episode 80. And there's a lot I had that we can talk about. I may do a part 2 because there's a lot of free information out there. I mean, you can go to the local library. I mean, it's lynda.com, and if you have a library card, you can get in LinkedIn Learning in some libraries for free. You have Coursera. These are different courses you can do for free. You can learn. Learning something is being productive, because you can actually take this information and tell this person, this is what I learned. You can produce this knowledge that you just learned from this computer screen or from this book or whatever it may be. But I hope you all have found some value. This is episode 80. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we're one step closer to 1,000 episodes. Thanks.